So my first area, we met a young man named Matthew Bassey Charles. I had not met him. I met him. Missionaries had been teaching for 2 weeks when I arrived in the mission field. He had seen a missionary on the street, heard him say the name Joseph Smith talking about it, but knew nothing about it. And then had seen the name of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And one night, Matthew was asleep. It was a Saturday night. And he said all that day before he'd gone to sleep, the name Joseph Smith just kept coming into his mind. Joseph Smith, Joseph Smith. And as he went to sleep, he kept tossing and turning and was dreaming about this Joseph Smith. And woke up in the morning, and the Spirit told him, you need to go to the Latter-day Church. That's a lot of people call it Latter Days. You need to go to Latter Days. And so he just got in his church clothes and he walked to the church. It was the middle of a sacrament meeting, and he sat down next to the missionaries and said, hey, I want to learn more about your church. And I had the honor of teaching that wonderful young man, and he taught his family, and now he's serving a mission in Nigeria. Another story in my last area was this big mountain called Dwarzak, and it was a wonderful branch. Had this super branch president who's now a bishop, and he was just on top of everything. And we had been teaching a family who lived at the top of the mountain, and they had a little rice shack called a bafa. So bafa is where, just like a restaurant, but it's a little hut where she'll cook rice and some kind of soup for the day, and people can go there and purchase the meal. So we went to her bafa, which is where we usually taught her, and she wasn't there. And there was a little girl who came with an empty dish. She was hoping to buy some food for her family. And we knew where the woman lived, so we went to her house, and the little girl followed us, went to the house, and we were knocking on the door looking for this family, and they weren't there. And the little girl started walking off, and then the Spirit told me, follow that little girl. And I didn't want to be creepy or anything, but I just started walking the same path she was walking. It was right up the mountain. And the little girl went to this older woman, and I asked the woman, I said, is that your daughter? And she said, no, Nami Grandpeking, which is my granddaughter. And then the woman looked at us as if she was expecting us. She said, come, follow me, follow me. And so we just followed her, and she brought us to her home, and she brought out a bench. And then we sat down. We said, hi, we're missionaries. We told her what we're missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We have this message. And she couldn't speak English very well or Creole. She was very tribal. But she went into her home and grabbed a picture of her son. And she said, this Nami Peking, you need to meet him. And we just kept teaching this lesson to this woman. And as we were talking, her son arrived and sat down and was the most golden investigator ever taught. He loved the lesson, and right after the lesson, Institute was starting, and he walked down the mountain to go to Institute, and within 3 weeks he was baptized, and now he's almost done with the mission in Nigeria as well.